Hello! Welcome back to my devlog for my retro-inspired FPS Roguelike game, the difficult follow-up to the highly successful Episode 1. Thanks so much to all my new subscribers and patron supporters, you all keep me motivated and on track. First today, I'm going to talk about life, and then I'll get to the game updates. So what have I been up to since, 3 months ago? I've been a bit all over the place really. A few things. Firstly, I've re-recorded my talk all about game feel, check it out. Secondly, I've been learning to play a bit of electric guitar. You know, everyone's picking up new hobbies in lockdown, so why not? And thirdly and finally, I have fought my case against the YouTube service's compliance team to keep CoverageBot running. That's not a very exciting point, but worth mentioning as a hurdle and compulsory distraction. On this, just know that they reduced the bot's data quota, which in turn crippled the service, and that, at least for now, it's back up and running at full capacity. Hooray! 8 teams are using it currently, so give me a shout on Discord if you fancy joining them. Thank you to Puppy Games, Far Few Giants, and Code by Fire for supporting. Moving on to the game updates. The most difficult thing so far in all of this has really been me trying to find my feet with this project. I've been trying to get back into the flow of things, and with everything going on in the world, a period of good weather, and bureaucracy of moving house, I've been finding it hard to sit down and really concentrate on this hobbyist game dev. Anyway, the fact this video exists is a measure of some good productivity. I finally and quite literally found my feet. Yes, my feet! So the story here starts with me having to consolidate a lot of game code and assets from the previous Jam projects. For example, I wanted to keep the dash mechanic from Vamp, but I wanted to keep the gun from Life Blaster. I had to fiddle around with assets and code to get these both working in engine going forward, so that now works. Keeping track of my ideas and tasks from this point onward will be very important. For this I am using Trello. I've used this on many dev projects before, both for hobby dev and professionally, so I highly recommend it. I dumped all of my ideas and thoughts into the new Trello board, and tidied it up to give it a neat, organised structure. The board is somewhat ordered into what I think will make good content for devlogs, but it doesn't have to be this way. This is just how I'm thinking. So without spoiling the meta reference to this devlog, here are a few things I've done. I've updated the game's resolution from 854x480 to 1280x720. I can now actually see a lot of my editing tools. I worked on the tiles a bit more, settling on a few different generic wall textures. After drawing these, I started experimenting with gradient colour overlays. This would give me a rough idea of how things could look in engine with the new lighting calculations. Green is cool, and fire is cooler. Perhaps this might inspire me into drawing something fitting a theme. Nothing yet, but I had to try them in engine. I've put the normal grey ones in here. Let's try adding a few different lights. These look cool, but let's try using the gradient baked textures too. I've put the green one in here, with some green lights also. I think this looks way cooler. Let's just try a few more things. Through all this, the gun has stayed purple. It looks out of place, right? It should be affected by the lighting. So I had to make that happen, which turned out to be quite difficult. The sprite had to be taken from screen space to world space. Obviously in doing this, the size was wrong, it was upside down, and all the nice feely movement calculations were wildly wrong. After adjusting all that, then, it didn't follow the camera on the y-axis, and then it did, but it still wasn't quite right. It took a considerable leap in my knowledge of 3D maps to get it working as intended. After this, I thought I'd implement a little commemorative coin pickup into the game. This is meant to be an FPS Roguelike game after all. Gotta have currency pickups. So I ripped the coin sprite right out of one of my other games, Deep Heat. Completely free if you're interested, links in the description. And implemented a coin pickup spawn when the enemies die. Let's pick up the coin and put that in our pocket. Oh, we don't have an inventory yet. That's something to think about. Annoyingly, I still don't have a game theme set in stone. I've tried to just sit down to pixel art to see what comes out, which has worked before, but this is the result. I think I can keep the tiles, but these little guys are a bit too strange. No good. Now, we still have vamp levels in game, but we don't want that. Ideally we want to have a little sandbox area where we can test all the main mechanics. I put one of those together, albeit currently quite small, to give me a good place to start with editing tools, and to give me a good footing on whatever I might tackle next. I I don't yet know what that will be. Inventory? Guns? Enemies? Pickups? More music? Explosions? What do you want to see? Let me know down in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching, and sorry this has been a bit of a short one. Please leave a like on this video, and subscribe and hit the bell if you have not already. All the social links are down below, and until next time, have a good one. Bye!